Page 62, Für Elise. Very famous piece by Beethoven. Pretty much every piano student, if you play very long, plays this at one time or another. This is the main theme from it, or the main melody from it. It's a nice arrangement. It's got eighth notes going crazy, but we'll just take it slow and easy, and we'll see what we get. I'll look it over. It's 2 pages long. It's actually longer than that because of the repeat signs, but 2 pages of music to learn. The clef signs are treble and bass clef, at least to start they are. There are no sharps or flats in the key signature. It's empty. There's nothing there. So we're either in C major or A minor, because those are the keys with no sharps or flats. If we look at the very end, the bottom of page 63, we're here. That is an A minor chord. We don't have the E, but it is. I'm guessing we're in A minor. However, for the scales, do them both. C major and A minor, 1 octave up and down. It's important. Okay. And 3/4 time. So the eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and. Now, while I'm thinking about it, because I didn't say it before, this is the last piece in the book. So congratulations, you've gotten through this. If you don't have a teacher, I encourage you, please, go back and go through the whole book again, go through all the lessons again, play through everything again, review everything before you go on. It's important you remember it all. Pretty much. Of course, you're going to use it all gradually as time goes on, but it's really important. Don't be in a hurry. Hurry up and go to the next book. Take your time with this. Now, back to this. This has a pickup beat. We're coming in on beat 3 because there's only 2 eighth notes in that first beat. And because the notes are going crazy, I'm going to take it one hand at a time at first. Then we'll put them together. In the right hand, you're starting out with 5 here. And they want the D sharp. You're here. That's okay. And you have to have the natural sign in that first full measure because the D sharp still applies. So it's, yeah. Other fingerings you could use. You could do a 5/3 if you don't want to use 5/4. Some people will use a 4 here instead of saying a 4th. Here, here. I like the 5/4 because we need to work these awkward fingers, and this lets us do that. I'm just passing weight from finger to finger. I'm just walking on the piano on the here. That's all it is. I'm just passing weight is all. And then during the rest, you come down here. Here, it's a broken chord. And then come up, and you do it again. It's pretty repetitious. You do it again. Okay, so much for that page. Let's go over to page 63. Well, the bottom of page 63, the 62, the last 3 notes is it, because it leads into it. And then going on. And this rhythm, in case you're not getting it, at 63, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. Reach down. Reach down. The second line, good luck with this. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and then it has an 8 VA above it. You're up here. Down, up here. So again, the second line, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. Just count it out carefully because, of course, the left hand will help when we get it in there because it's playing stuff in the other. But he throws the rhythm off a little bit, so we get to play around with that. And that, for the most part, is the piece. Left hand, what's got these broken chords? These 3 at the beginning here. That's all. And then second line, you come up here, and back down here, and that's it. Congratulations. Let's go over to page 63. It's these chords here. And then here. Second line. It's an E up there. Then you get treble clef. So now you're up here. You're playing the E's like the right hand is playing at different times. You're here. And then here. You're still treble clef. And at the end of the second line, you get your bass clef back to come back home down here. And that's the left hand. So let's put them together and see what happens. Well, they're eighth notes. If you just keep the eighth note steady. Now, when I put the hands together, I'm going to hesitate. I don't care. But I'm working on the eighth note. 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. And as I play that, I got to come up here. But I got to move anyway, so it's handy. It needs to sound like one hand played all of that in the last measure of the first line. It's just one broken chord going on up. There. That's what it is. That's pretty much it until you get to page 63. And we're here, top of the page. Now, the second line, let's just look at it. We're here. Now we're just going to play E's. Right hand, left hand, right hand, and now we're back. So the left hand comes over the right hand there, so it's ready to go. So again, that's all we're doing is just playing the E's and keep the eighth note steady. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and... Yeah. Now the last couple measures of that second line, when you get to the D sharps, careful here. It's really, really important to keep these steady because they can get off. Boom, 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 boom. They'll get off. Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. Now, no, keep them steady. Here. Yeah. And that's pretty much the piece for this arrangement. Then, once I get that, I go back and I get rid of the hesitations. And I suggest you take this just a page at a time. So work on page 62 until you've got it. No hesitations. Then set it aside and work on page 63 and just play page 63. Don't play page 62 again until you've got page 63 down. Then once you can play it with no hesitations, you go put it all together. Once you can do that, then we'll think about the articulation. This is pretty connected. And connect all of this. Connect all that together here. These are slurs, they're not phrases they're giving you, so just connect them. Here, yeah, for now, just connect them. When you get to page 63, here, see, I would connect all that together, but the second line, we want to hear the two note slurs here. Ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. Don't play the second note real short. No, but lift up so it's the two note slurs. Yeah. That's about the only time where you're really lifting up for things is on those two note slurs. Then once you have an idea of the articulation, then we'll think about the dynamics. It's a gentle piece for the most part, this arrangement at least. To start out soft. It's both hands here, both hands. I'm keeping the left hand down a little bit because I want to hear the right hand. Now, bottom of the page, 62, you get the hairpin to get louder. Just go up to here. It's the right hand. Keep the left hand in the background. You have a diminuendo at the end of the first line. I tend to do a crescendo in here, just a little louder. Then another diminuendo there in the second line to come back down to soft. Like you were at the beginning. See, having played this forever, there's other getting louder and softer as you can do, so we can do other things. Just try and get what's here first. And in the first two lines on page 63, I'm louder here. Now I come down. Now I go back. And I crescendo up, and then I go back down. So I can put up and then back like a swell and then come back down. It's interpretation. As far as the speed goes, andante con moto. Remember, andante is just a leisure stroll, a feel of it. Con moto means with motion, which means don't drag it. Well, the eighth notes, they're going to slow it down a little bit. So it's not necessarily the speed of the beat we're talking about all the time. It might be, but not necessarily. Andante, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That would be about a nice andante feel. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, whatever. So you don't have to go that fast. You can slow it down a little bit because the eighth notes will keep it from dragging too much. Just don't play it. No, that's dragging it. Ugh. Now the pedal. Let's talk a little bit about the pedal. You can actually get away with this with no pedal at all, but generally it's pedaled. We don't pedal this front part. That needs to be clean. Don't pedal that. But these chords, you can pedal those. Now they're only pedaling the left hand. There at the first line there. I suggest you lift it up on the last beat. When you play the E at the end of the measure, lift it up there. Right there. They have you lifting it up on here. I would lift it up 1/8 note later. And we're only lifting it up like that to clear out the sound. Here. And at the second line, second measure, I lift it up when I play that high E, the last note in the measure. On page 63, same thing. I lift it up on the last beat. Right there, I lift it up. Now, there's a difference of opinion on this. Some editors, I want to hear the two-note slurs. And if you do that, you either don't pedal them so I can hear them, or pedal the first beat or the first note of each two-note slur. Just give it a little more color because it's more important. It's there. However, I think it's better just don't pedal them. So on the second line, I'm only pedaling that. And I'm not pedaling anymore. And that's basically the pedaling as far as I'm concerned. Now on page 63 at the bottom you see the endings. First and second endings, remember how those work. You do the first ending the first time you play it. It has a repeat sign which sends you back to the reverse repeat sign at the top of the page. So if the reverse repeat sign were not there, you'd have to go all the way to the beginning. But it's there, we only go to there. And the second time you play it, you skip the first ending because you only do it once. You jump over and do the second ending, which is the end of it. Yeah. Generally, you can slow down at the end. So at the bottom, the second time through, you can slow down there if you want to. There is a retardando at the end of the second line, but I only play it as I feel it. If I don't feel it, I don't play it. The second line. There. And the odd tempo means take off again. Well, let's review. There's a couple ways of interpreting an odd tempo. One way is you just abruptly go. So the second line is you just take off again. The other way is you accelerate, but only take 2 or 3 notes to get there. You do it fairly quickly. So you gradually get going again. And I think in this piece that's more effective, to accelerate back into the odd tempo. So the second line. But as I said, if I don't feel the retardando, I don't do it. And in the actual piece, you get this motif multiple times. And usually I'll play it a little different each time. I might retard quite a bit, and then maybe just a little bit, and then maybe not at all. I change it up each time I do it. It's interpretation. The natural accents, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. In this piece, I have not found such, they're quite so important till you get to page 63. We want that. We'll go on to here, this feeling. But this part, that kind of throws it all out, and you're just doing 2-note slurs. That's there. You're just doing 2-note slurs. So don't worry so much about which beat of the measure am I on now. Just play 2-note slurs until you get back to the off tempo part. It's third line, and then you can go. Yeah. It's interpretation. You have to decide on how you feel it. There's all kinds of recordings of this. I think I did one on my other channel, but listen to the pros. Listen to multiple people play it because they will interpret it differently. Let's play it together very slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do louds and softs. I can't do any retards because a metronome won't retard. I'll go ahead and paddle it pretty much like it's shown, except I'm going to lift up on the third beat rather than exactly where they say to. So I'll give us 2 counts because we come in on beat 3. We're going to go real slow. In fact, I'm going to put the metronome on 8th notes. Ready and go and. Rest.